Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another rendition from the S&M Iracing Motorsports coverage. Tonight we're switching it up a little bit. We are at the Chicagoland Speedway in Illinois. These drivers will be taking on the racetrack as it transitions from day to night. This evening, 135 laps around the speedway. Practice is just wrapping up. These drivers are getting ready for qualifying. While they get ready for qualifying, let's go ahead and let's take a look at what a good qualifying lap should look like for the most part for these guys. They should be wide open on fresh tires as we take a look at the CSR broadcast car. Right down to the bottom of the racetrack. Try not to get the apron. It will get a little loose as it bottoms out. Take it all the way to the wall. Capture as much off the corner speed as you can. A little later entry into the corner. You see the sunset. That is going to play effect for drivers there as the race goes on, as it continues to get darker around the racetrack. That is just a quick lap around Chicagoland Speedway for qualifying. Well, the drivers take qualifying. We had Kyle Cameron get it done last night at the ISS Super Speedway. His first win for S&M, I believe, maybe his first win since they started racing here. It was awesome to see the 55. If not, it has been a while for the Angry Wives Racing driver. He got it done last evening. He is in the race tonight. Well, we get ready for these guys to finish up and wrap up their qualifying lap. Let's just take a quick look back at some of the action we have seen over the last week or so from S&M. You better find something to do quick because Bowman is doing his normal thing. He's going to try to push the 12 car out there. When does he make his move? He makes it now. The 12 goes for the block. The 12 is going to run him down to the apron as we come side by side. The 8's going to get it done again. Nick Bowman. The Dark Horse Boys. We got the S&M CEO and James Smith. Can he be the steal as they come at a turn 4 into the tri-oval? The 8 is pushing the daylights out of the 12. There goes the move. There goes the move. The 8 to the inside. He's got the momentum. The one's looking at the 8 car. Nick Bowman, Mr. Talladega, is going to win yet another one here. Zachary Cato on the inside. He's got a big push from the 12 car. The 48 is laying on the back bumper of the 1 car. Zach Cato's going to have the lead as they come through 3 and 4. James Smith on the outside. Zach Cato on the inside. The 48's bobbing and weaving. Can the 12 car stay cool enough to get him there? As they come to the finish, it's going to be James Smith going across the line with a great run for Michael Wiley and Zach Cato. On the last lap, Tommy Rogers on the outside. He needs the 98 to get there. It looks like Ryan Wilson's going to turn under his teammate. That's not what they needed. They needed to stay in line. Kevin Dixon shoving the daylights out of the out of the 12 car, but that could put them in a really bad spot. They are pretty far out. That might give the 98 or the guys on the bottom a huge run coming back as you see them separated. That is not going to help us. Tommy Rogers is going to make another move. Mike Wiley's going to move up and grab his teammate, leaving poor Tommy by himself. But here comes Billy Rickett. They're coming off turn 4. The 009 on the back bumper of the 12. They're heading into the travel. When does the 009 make his move? He shows his nose to the outside. Here comes Kevin Dixon, the outside. The 48's going to make it 3 wide. It looks like it's going to be Trevor Haley at the line. The 33 of Jonathan Wright. You see the onboard shot, the 8. I'm sure this is what we're seeing, but all he's looking at is out the rear view mirror. Checking on the runs. The 17 is pushing him. As long as he doesn't get too hot, that might be the move. The 17 is going to try to push him out there and get a big run. And oh, he's going to get him out of shape. The 17 is going to turn underneath him. He's trying to help his teammate. And it goes around. The 24 is going to try to bump the 8. It's going to get him out of shape. And Nick Bowman is going to hang on to this thing as they go through the trial. The 17 coming along. The 12's going around. And it looks like it is going to be the 17 of Peyton Snyder tonight as we have a 3 almost 4. Oh, they took out Kevin Dixon with a bad push. They have some more wrecking in behind, but right now James Smith pushing the 12 car. He needs to keep that engine just a little cooler so he can get back to him, push him out, and turn under him. Let's see what they do.
We're coming into the dog leg. We got Smith. We got Bowman.
Bowman's giving him a shove back. James Smith
James
goes
Smith
low.
goes down.
Now Nick Bowman's going to try
Bowman
to
goes
split the
down.
middle. The
Three
three
wide.
wide as they come to
Bumping
the
each
line.
other.
Oh,
It's
it
a
might
photo
be
finish.
Trevor Haley with the one car on the inside sliding. Some great racing over the last week or so from the S&M Iracing Motorsports drivers. While we don't have all the regulars tonight, some of them are in the league race. We still have a massive field here from Chicagoland. Let's go ahead and take a look at the national anthem while these drivers get ready to take the grid.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular of Osborne singing up, yeah, through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Welcome back to the Chicagoland Speedway, as it looks like Ethan Gutierrez is going to start on pole with Dean Thompson on the outside. Let's go ahead and get a look officially at the starting grid here this evening as these drivers get ready to roll around the racetrack. So right now we are in the day. This race should transition into the night. We are stage racing once again here this evening. Lap 30, lap 60, lap 90, and then green flag, hopefully to the end of lap 135. They do have 3 green-white checkers. You see a ton of rubber on the racetrack right now, but the racetrack temperature is fairly cool as these drivers go. But tire wear is going to be a factor. The first few laps of the race are definitely going to take some time to get the high side out there. They are going to be wide open around the racetrack as they get ready to take the green flag. The right front should wear out 5 laps, no caution flags as they get started on this one here. For the first 5 laps, we don't have nearly as much time to get all of our information down, and so we will continue to get that as these drivers get ready to go. They take the green flag. The 09 of Ethan is going to take us to the green. The 18 gets a great start on the outside, and we are green from Chicagoland for 135 laps around this speedway. The 09 is going to lead the first lap around. These cars are designed for some pack racing. We'll see who wants to get up there. As you see the 51, we were just going to say the top side is dirty right now. These drivers are going to have to slowly work their way up to the top of the racetrack if they want to continue to save tires. You do have a caution flag in the stage. It's really going to depend on when that falls, with these tires after about 10 laps are definitely going to start to wear. It's going to be who can save that right front tire for the end of these runs. You see the 18 and the 24 there already starting to move up the racetrack. Some guys are top four, with the exception of Matthew Brown, aren't guys we usually see. It'll be interesting to see how these guys get around this raceway. We'll go back here and check in a little further in the field. Some of these awesome painted race cars here, the SMT crew. They're already trying to get up there and work in the high side and try to save that right front. The 55 looks like he may have already had some issues. Last night's winner, and Peyton Snyder going down pit road. Let's see if we can get a look on board. Yeah, he's got some heavy right front damage. These drivers do have 6 fast repairs on board this evening, so that might use one for the 55. They will get a yellow flag at some point in the stage. Ethan continues leading this beautifully painted 09 car. You see the sparks dragging. These things are about as low to the racetrack as you can get them right now. Still a lot of close racing around the racetrack. So Ethan Gutierrez, Dean Thompson, Connor in the 14, Matt Brown in the 666 painted as a 24 here as he's going to move up to P3. Ricky Springer, Randy Showers, Justin Rutowski, Chase in the 35, Devin Myers in the 1 machine, and Evan Perry round out the top 10 right now. It is really going to be an interesting race this evening, and who's saving tires, who's able to manipulate the draft. You see the 09 get a little bit of safer barrier. We're 3 wide in turns 3 and 4 for the lead as they come at it 2 heading down the back straightaway. They are still 3 wide. No one wants to give it up. You see a great shot here in the Kyle Busch painted car in the middle of the 51. We saw him in the outside wall a little earlier. The 18 is going to slide back in line. You definitely can aero block in these cars around this racetrack, but some great racing here. Looks like your top 8 are just absolutely under a blanket right now. The 09 gets a little bit of an advantage coming out of turn 2. Some great shots here. The track is fairly cool, but as the night goes on, it will continue to cool, and we should see speeds increase even more. You might see some even more sparks flying out from under these machines as they continue to go around the racetrack and the night starts to set. We have more 3 wide action here a little further back with Randy Showers and that 24 car there on the outside. They're going to make a little contact, get a little tight up off 2 as they head down the back straightaway. Some great shots here around the 25 car, and the 18 now looks like he may have gotten to the bottom of the racetrack at around the 09. The 09 was on the bottom of the racetrack a lot of these first 10 laps, so is his right front starting to go. You see him up there on the high side now. Is he going to be able to make a run back at the outside? He's getting a huge run through 1 and 2. The 18 slams the door shut on him. Woo, that could have led to some disaster. Let's get a look here from the blimp cam as they enter turns 3 and 4. You see the top side of the racetrack starting to clean off. You'll see more cars up there as the 21. Oh, big check up here a little further in the back to not lead to disaster. We'll continue to go get some looks. It's just pack racing all around this racetrack. This setup really brings it in. Sean Stam, one of the broadcasters for S&M when I jump in the race car. Awesome to see him there in the Wonder Bread Ricky Bobby themed 26 machine there, getting it done on the bottom of the racetrack. It looks like the 09 has used the high side back to his advantage. He has gone back to the point. The 14 slides into P2. You see the 51 starting to get that to work, and while we are at it, we will take a look at, oh, the 09 is up in the marbles. He's a little too high. It's not quite clean enough just yet. Now the 14 car is to the lead here. So some great action. We'll have to get some great onboards here and a little bit with these guys. While we have the moment, I'm going to bring up some of my keys to the race here this evening. Obviously, we've already talked about it. Save your tires. That right front is going to matter. The left side to do grip fairly well here. So, and then watching the track temps as the night continues to cool. Where do you want to have your runs go? Do you want to go to the bottom of the racetrack if the cooler temperatures do creep in on us here? Is that bottom going to be enticing to stay there a little longer? Do not speed coming onto pit road. You are going from 170, 80 miles an hour down to 50 miles an hour here on pit road. It's very difficult to get these cars checked up off the banking. You will not get a black flag clear if you speed onto pit road. Pit strategy is also going to play a huge key of this. These drivers only have a 40% fuel load on board, so pitting for fuel and tires could make a huge difference in the outcome of your race this evening. And well, both drivers are not here this evening, but usually they are the formidable foes of Trevor Haley and Michael Wiley. They usually get it done here. They're not in the field tonight, so we don't even need to worry about that key to the race. As they see the car out of shape there, the 009 there, going to be a huge wreck into turns 1 and 2. That is going to require, then the Matt Brown is going to get caught up in it here. Let's see if these guys get checked up. The cost Jerry Fassett's going to get involved as these cars just have no steering. Justin Lee Pearson's going to drive in it. The 18's rolling down the racetrack. Cal Cameron also gets into it. The guys just need to check up a little bit, as that will bring a yellow flag on the racetrack. So, like we said, the first 5 laps, you have no cautions to save you, but there is one caution for the first stage of the race. So, now, do you take 2 tires? Do you take 4 tires? What is your strategy call going to be? We just talked about it as one of the keys of the race here. The 35 needs to get her slowed down. The 37 getting on the brakes here as these drivers get ready to come down pit road. The 14 car continues to lead. Randy Showers, Chase, Justin, Ratowski, Dave Scott is now up to P5, so that is going to round out your top 5 with a lot of those guys getting caught up in that wreck. We'll see if we can go back and see. I mean, we saw for the most of it pretty live as to what happened on the racetrack, but we will go back and we'll see if we can get a second look at it as these guys are coming down pit road. The 14 leads them onto pit road here, followed by Randy Showers. What is the strategy? What do you do? Do you take 2? Do you take 4? You never know until these guys start coming off of pit road. We'll try to get us a better camera. Some of these love to just change on us. Dave Scott a little further here. Couple spots back. Everyone seems to be. It looks like right side's going up on just about everyone. We'll see when they pull off. Do they come around? Does the left sides go up? Yes, the 14 is going to take all 4. The 75 is going to take 2. You see the 18 and the 009 coming in after their incident, so Dave Scott's going to lead them off of pit road here. Randy Showers coming off the 14 lost some substantial time. Don't know if he opted to take a little bit more fuel, but let's see if we could go back and take a look just at what happened here. You see it right there. Let's back it up a little further here. Looks like some aggressive blocking maybe from the 51 here. Yes, he tries to get up in front of the Kyle Busch painted machine. He's going to slide up, tag the wall. He's still trying to hang on to the 18 and the 009 might net code here. It's going to turn the 009 up in the racetrack. Some hard contact there. Probably the guy who got the worst end out of all of it is going to be the 51. Oh, the 18 just about jumps over the top of him here. So they're going to use a faster pair. They'll only have 5 left. Kyle Cameron later on in this race, in this wreck gets caught up in it. Dave Scott is continuing to lead. Let's go back here a little further in the racetrack. Check in with Ricky Miles. He's riding around P17 right now. He's got limited time on the racetrack, so a good job for him. He's up 4 spots. Justin Lee Pearson, you saw get caught up in that. There is the 18 machine. So a little further up, Blaine Snyder out here somewhere on the racetrack. There he is. He's out there in his dinosaur-looking Mountain Dew car. Tommy Rogers is up 7 spots. He is now inside the top 10. Matthew Brown there. It looks like he recovered nicely from that wreck. So the 14, we'll see if he can manage his way back up to the front. Dave Scott is going to start us off for the end of stage 1. They will now stay green flag until lap 30 here from Chicagoland and get the first stage winner figured out here as they go. You see the Red Bull machine there of the 21 of Randy Showers. On the outside, Dave Scott in the Reliable IT Solutions Camaro tonight. He keeps switching it up on me. Sometimes he's in the Ford, sometimes he's in the Camaro. He keeps going back and forth. I think he's just trying to mess with me at this point. As Dave Scott approaches the Geico restart zone, he will get us back to green flag. He is on the throttle, and there they go. Lap 17 complete. Lap 18 on the board. They are going to go till lap 30. Shouldn't see any green flag pit stops. At this point, I don't believe they should have enough fuel to make it to the end of the stage, so now it's going to be about tire and track position. While these drivers continue on here, while the field's all packed up, let's take a moment to crank it up. Well, we're going to interrupt the the 8. It's going to turn the 21 back up in front of the track. That is going to lead one massive crash back here. They're still driving into it. A lot of cars are going to get caught up in this one. Guys in the inside wall, Tommy Rogers, Jack McCarthy, we saw him going around. Let's see if we could get a better look as to what in the world happened here. We were on the crank it up camera, sometimes hard to tell here. Let's see if we get queued up, because we are not going to get a caution for another 10 laps at this point. You see it here. The 8's already loose. Looks like the 8. Oh, the 8 here is going to catch the apron. That flat spot is going to wash him up into the 24, and then it is just chaos from here. Guys trying to miss. The 8's trying to hang on to it, collect it, and it's just going to turn him back up in front of this field. Ricky Miles is going to get in it. The 009's in it. The 23 is in it. Quite a few cars with heavy damage on this one. 35 now to the point. Connor somehow squeezes through that. The 37 of Justin Ratowski, excuse me. P3. The 09 has made his way from the back to the front. Dave Scott is going to round out the top 5, and Mr. Broadcaster himself, Sean Stan here in the 26 machine, is just outside the top 5 here. Those drivers are going to have to go down pit road. They're going to get it figured out, and their fast repair is done. And they will probably go one lap down. They'll have to take the free pass, but at S&M, you always get the opportunity to get your laps back under all yellow flags or stages. So a lot of these guys having to go use a fast repair. Just unfortunately there with the 8 car coming back up the hill, or down the hill, hitting the 21, turning him back up in front of the field. That led to a rather large wreck. Well, the 35 continues to lead as we'll go on board here with the 14 machine, as he is now running down the 35, having himself a great race so far. He looks like he is going to be one of the guys to beat here this evening. He is a 5,500 I rating, so he's definitely a guy who knows how to wheel these cars around the racetrack. Right now, he's going to go ahead and make a look to the inside. Not going to be able to get it done there on the front straightaway. Just trying to set him up into turns 1 and 2 there, taking a higher line, trying to get his car out of the dirty air of the 35. The 37 is just going to I'll take your guys' toe. I will use this draft down the back straightaway to close up the gap, and you see it there. That is exactly what he is going to do. It looks like he is going to be a little tight. You see a lot of wheel into that 37 machine. We said it earlier, going to have to take care of that right front. The 14 continues to follow around the 35 of Chase Durham. I'm going to say Durham. Durham sounds better than Durham. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Probably in, but the 35 is up 19 spots from his starting position. Sean Stam is actually the biggest mover on the racetrack. Ooh, Sean looks like he may have gotten loose out of turns 2. Maybe does he have damage on that thing? We just saw him up 20. Now he's down to 17. No, he might have just, maybe he got moved. A disagreement there by these guys possibly drops him a couple spots. Justin Lee Pearson, you saw get caught up in that wreck. He's starting to make his way back to the front. He is riding in P6 position, just outside the top 5 here. Dave Scott continues to round out the top 5. The 17 of Peyton Snyder, he's in the Kyle Larson looking car. He got the outside wall at some point. You see some right front damage on that machine. The top lane is just about cleaned all the way off, so these drivers are going to continue to work their way further up the track here. Lap 27 on the board here. The 14 all over the back of the 35 here, as we only have just a few laps to go in the stage. The 37 has dropped back a little bit. We saw him putting a ton of wheel into that race car. I think he may have just abused the right front here. Let's get a look on board from the 14 machine. You see the hands working in there, being patient with the throttle, trying to find a way out of the 35's dirty air with 2 laps to go in the stage, going to try to take the stage win from him. You see the gamesmanship. The 35 enters high, trying to block his air. Now the 14 is going to turn underneath the 35. He's now got the inside. Does the 14 have enough right front tire, however, to make it stick? They'll go into turns 3 and 4. He's on the bottom. Can the 35 hang on the quarter panel for now? He is. The side draft is still full effect for these Gen 6 machines as they go around. That lap around is actually too close to call. Not sure who's going to get that lap around, but we are on the final lap of stage 1. The 14 and the 35 duking it out here as they go down the back straightaway, catching the lap traffic of Tommy Rogers, who is going to come away with the stage at 35. Looks like he's going to block to the inside. The 14 is going to try to use the top of the track, get a big run down the front straightaway, maybe use draft, but right now it is all the 35. The 35 car of Chase Durham is going to take stage number 1. The yellow flag should fly here in a moment. Did we change? Stage breaks. Edmonds, are we asleep in there? That should be the stage there. The 14 continuing to hound the 35 there on the racetrack. Did they switch up? Did they do lap 40 and lap 80 for the stages? I thought we were doing 30, 60, 90, but we'll keep it tuned here. We'll see if the yellow flag is going to come out. There it is. A little late on it, but nonetheless the 35 is going to keep the lead. So now the 35 will catch up to the back of the pace field here. Excuse me, the pace car as they come out of turn 1. All these drivers will get their lap back from the 34, 12 cars still on the lead lap here, so a lot of guys going to need their free passes and then come down pit road. So the 35 machine of Chase Durham is going to take stage number 1 in his 35 Nike machine. You see the 34 now coming around the racetrack to get his laps back as he catches. Here comes the 37. There, the 26 as well. Get out of the high line. Guys are trying to get their laps back. There you go. Get it to the bottom of the racetrack as you see the lap traffic going around getting their laps back. We're just going to try to go through the field here and see how many cars we still have in this. Looks like at least 21 at this point, as the leaders are now making their way down pit road. We'll see what their strategies are this time around, as the 35 will lead them in. I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of whoa, big move there, but 26 overshoots his box by quite a bit. You're going to see him reversing on pit road. That is never going to be good. That is going to hurt track position for him. Obviously, a lot of right side tire adjustments being made on these cars. A couple guys opting for 4. The 35 is out. Couldn't quite tell if he took 4. Here looks like he did, yes. And Justin Lee Pearson is going to come out P2. Chase is still going to go around. You see the lap traffic getting their laps back. They will make their way down pit road here shortly after. So Justin Lee Pearson going to be up 12 spots. Chase is still your biggest mover of the race right now of 19 spots. Second highest mover of the race right now is going to be Sean Stam. going through here. Third is going to be Josh here in the 76 Coors Light machine. Or is that a, yes, that's a Coors. Is it Coors Light or Banquet? Coors Light machine. He is up 16 spots. Kevin Dixon is up 12, as well as Justin Lee Pearson. Well, the top side is starting to clear itself out. You still have lights on the pace car right now. The sun looks like it is beginning to set in the sky. We will see this race transition. We will see that blinding sun in turns 3 and 4 like we saw earlier here in the qualifying lap around here from the the CSR broadcast car. This is where everyone wants to be by the end of this thing. Victory lane. Our top 5 gets shouted out on all social media platforms.
Back on the pace car. We're not going green this time.
As they delay it one more time around, they are going to make sure everyone is back on the lead lap here. Let's see if we can get a shot of where the sun might be in the sky. I see some shadows starting to go around the racetrack. Well, we look around on our scenic camera. Let's give one shout out to D&D Graphics. He's painted quite a few of these cars. Been a great sponsor. He's got hats and t-shirts lined up in the works for these guys. There is a couple of more sponsors that are ready to come on board. While we're at it as well, if you could do me one of the 4, like, comment, share, or subscribe would be awesome. Liking the stream helps other people find streams just like this and this one on the on YouTube. Thank you for everyone who is tuning in right now. There's a great aerial shot from above Chicagoland here. You see the shadowing start to get onto the racetrack. The temps should continue to drop on the racetrack, so speeds should increase around the racetrack, and grip levels. I know these guys are definitely trying to monitor the right front tire on their machines right now. So as cooler track temps come into play, it'll be interesting to see where these guys move around on the racetrack to figure it all out. Well, the 35 is upping the high side. Don't know if did Justin Lee Pearson beat him off pit road? Or is he just opting to use the high side there? Not sure. We'll have to figure it out. Either way, the 29 is going to try to get his last remaining lap back here. The lights are off on the pace car, so we will continue to monitor the situation around the racetrack. Here, as you see, the 35 and the 58 getting ready to come out of turns 3 and 4 and get this thing restarted. Again, first 5 laps are green flag racing, and then the next stage break should be lap 60. As they come off of turn 4 here, you should see the pace car drop. There he goes as they approach the Geico restart zone. The green flag is in the air. Stage 2 is now underway from Chicagoland. You see the 75 of Dave Scott trying to get it wound up on the high side. We're definitely going to have to do some driver interviews and get their thoughts as they go around this racetrack. And see what the tire wear is looking like. You see it even more so now. We're getting that heavier shade of yellow on the racetrack. The sun is starting to set. By the end of this thing, we should be in the dark under the lights. The 35 continues to lead Dave Scott, now putting the pressure on the outside. Big move there by Dave. Can he keep it wound up on the high side? He should, as you go on board from the 35's point of view. Now they're going to drag race to the start-finish line, trying to get that side draft on the 75. Let's see if he dives it off into the bottom of the racetrack. He will. The 75 is going to lose a little ground on the outside, but if he can keep it wound up, well, the 35 clears himself out there off the nose of Dave Scott, but the 35 is definitely going to be using a lot more tire there on the bottom of the racetrack, so maybe Dave is just thinking long run here, keeping it wound up at the top of the racetrack here for the entirety of the second stint while these guys continue to race it out. Let's go back here and check a little bit further on the action as they are 3, almost 4 wide in turn 1. You see Jerry Fassett there coming off turn 2. The pack still nose to tail going down the back straightaway. Let's get a look on board from these guys in the action right in the middle of it. You hear a lot of time off throttle. These guys trying to save it. Also, the draft has a lot to do with it. A little contact there by the 9 Jerry. Working her on the outside there as they come down the front straightaway, lifted out of the throttle, not running the 16 over. Kevin Dixon right in the thick of it as well with Evan Perry. Oh, it looks like Jerry may have got a little bit of the marbles. Everyone make sure that they are clear on the outside before anybody tries to turn down the racetrack. This is one of the D&D painted vehicles here of Kevin Dixon going around this racetrack. Great job by our sponsor painting up some of these cars here. Ryan Wilson hanging out a little further back, maybe just saving his stuff right now. We saw him caught up in something earlier. So he is just, I think he's content and trying not to use those fast repairs right now. Chase Durham continues to lead here, but the 75 is made up ground. Peyton Snyder, a dark horse driver, now going down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to make a big move into turns 3 and 4 here under the 35. Can he get it to stick? How much tire does he have? The 35 has it wound up. Now what does the 75 do? He has a big run up off the corner. The 37 still hanging right there, as well as Justin Lee Pearson continue to make his way up. Justin getting a little close. Peyton, excuse me, there. Can he get that thing turned down under the 35 machine? Keep his momentum. He needs to get up. There he does. He gets up in front of the 75. Dave Scott going to give him a shot going into the corner here. Made some close pack racing. Let's get on board here with Blaine Snyder, the brother of the 17 machine up there. You see just how close the action is on the racetrack right now. These guys continuing to get after it right now. We don't see any mayhem on the track, so this could be a green flag stint. These drivers have about 20, close there, 20 laps of fuel on board, and they pitted about lap 33, so we could be 10 laps away from green flag pit stops. And then do you take 2? Do you take full fuel to make your stage break pit stop a little shorter here? We'll go on board and get a look at some of these drivers here. Sean Stamp right behind him working that thing as we have contact, and it looks like the 09 and the 76 Jerry Fassett, the 21 is going to be involved. Here we'll go back and we'll get another look at it. That should bring out the first caution of the stage, which is going to throw off some of these guys' strategy as they go around. We'll have to go back here and take a look. The yellow flag is out, so let's go back and let's try to take another look at this one here. It's going to happen a little further up with Blaine Snyder. Let's get him queued up here. They are 3 wide. The 76 is going to come down off the wall. Yeah, there's 3 wide there. 76 bounced it off the wall. Going to shoot the 9 down into the 1 machine there and just kick his car sideways. Jerry just absolutely nowhere to go. The 21 of Randy Showers, likewise, just trying to get on the brakes and trying to see where these guys are going to go. Shouldn't be too bad of damage on the 29. You see the 009 of Kevin Dixon turning down under that. Tommy Rogers, Evan Perry, the 27 car dirt tracking that thing around. So that is definitely going to change up the strategy here now. These guys might be able to make it on fuel here. So now, do you take your 2? Do you take your 4? What do you want to do coming down pit road this time? Do you want to put yourself in a better position for the stage? As the 17 gases are up, trying to get to the inside there. The 35 trying to maximize his time on pit road. You hear some of the lap cars going around. The 17's in, the 35's in. We'll try to keep an eye on these guys. Looks like they are both going to get in clean. I'm sure you'll see the right sides go up on most of these vehicles, but do the lefts go up? Do you want to take 2 tires for the end of this stint? You're not too far into it. The left should be okay. Looks like a majority of these guys are going to go for the 4 tires, so you must be getting a little bit more wear on the tires. The 35 is going to continue to lead them out. It's almost 4 wide with the SMT crew coming out of the pits there. Evan Perry is moving his way up towards the front as well, and Dave Scott continues to be here. Well, let's see if we could bring in the driver of the 17 machine. I think he is hanging out here with us. Yes, Peyton, it's Craig up in the booth. How's it going so far, buddy?
Pretty good now that I made my way up here. I was involved in a couple incidents early, qualified terrible, so yeah.
All right, we're seeing a lot of guys opt for the 4-tire stop. Are we having some big time wear on the lefts?
It hasn't been too bad really. That little run there, 97, 99, on the lefts. But
So could it be just a strategy call? Get those 4 tires out of the way, see how it's going down. Maybe we'll see some more 2-tire stops later in the race.
maybe if we get some green flag stops, I wouldn't be surprised to see a little strategy thrown in there for the stage, but we'll see.
I thought we were pretty close to having it there. Well, I know we're going back green flag racing here. No Trevor, no Nick tonight, no Michael Wiley. Pretty good shot there for the 17 car to get it done then. What do you think?
We'll see, man. Got to stay in clean air.
Yeah, amen. It seems like you are able to aero block pretty well if you were the lead car.
Definitely, it's definitely hard to pass. So we'll see what we can do here, though.
All right, good luck, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Peyton, one of our dark horse drivers out of the state of Florida there on the outside of row number 1. Dave Scott, Evan Perry, Justin Lee Pearson going to round out the top 5 as of now. We still have, it looks like, let me just go through. It looks like the 29 is going to be the last car on the racetrack. 20 cars going around. We're going to get ready to come to the completion of stage number 2 here. We have one more stage in the race after this, then the end of this thing. So it is broken up in a couple segments around the racetrack. You hear maybe trying to burn off a little fuel there as the pace car pulls off. And Chase Durham is going to lead us back to green in the Geico restart zone. We are green once again here from Chicagoland. 17 did not get the start that he was looking for. He got 2. Oh, 17 gets a little of the apron, comes up and taps the door of the 75. 75 says, hey, man. But I don't think he realized he bottomed that car out on the bottom of the racetrack here. Now we have about 12 or 13 laps to go, so these tires should just about be ready to get a new set on them. Great shot from the flag stand here by the time these guys come to the stage. So yes, you can run the bottom of the racetrack and beat them up here for about 10 laps, but what do you have left for the final 3? Or do you have enough to keep that pass? You see the 17 already. It is little bit of little bit of drama on the racetrack. 75 doesn't like the 17 going up. Oh, there he goes. Oh, the 75 of Dave Scott is going to get turned by the 17 machine. You saw the disagreements on the racetrack there. Not a good look there. The 17 now stuck 3 wide. The outside, the 72 on the outside there. Man, they were beating and banging, having a physical discussion of whose car should be where on the racetrack. But Chase is going to love seeing that in his mirror. He continues to lead this thing and pull away. And look at that, Justin Lee Pearson. We talk about him almost every broadcast, making his way to the front of the racetrack. Kyle Cameron said 2 fast repairs in the first 10 laps. He called it quits already tonight. Well, a little bit different. Not super speedway racing. Looks like we might have something else going back around. Blaine is barely hanging on to that machine. Big save from the 9 there. That thing was sideways. Kevin Dixon right there as well. Let's take a little bit look further back in the pack. Jerry Fassett still there. I see some smoke that they're coming up on. Might have just been the previous lap. Ricky Miles still up 4 spots here, riding in P17, biding his time, logging some laps, learning some things. Good to see him continuing to move forward in this race as the 35 has now been caught by the 37 of Justin Ratowski. Now what does the 37 have for him? Putting a ton of pressure on him down the back straightaway. Justin Lee Pearson still right there. And a guy's number we haven't called much there here tonight. Lyle Bonnet in the 16 machine. He's got it wound up on the outside. As he jump to the outside, he sure will. He will make it 3 wide going into turns 1 and 2. They all give each other a little bit of room here. Now the 37 is clear. The 16 back in the throttle early. He's got a huge run coming out of turns 1 and 2. He might just clear these guys going down the back straightaway. It is going to be close there, remaining 3 wide, and you know the 35 is loving what he's seeing out of the rear mirror. on this thing. Randy Showers continues to make his march forward. We'll get a look on board with him as he looks to push the 37 down the front straightaway. Got to think better of it to not get himself caught up in too many more things. Like I said, we do have limited fast repairs. I know these guys have used a lot of them. The 37 got way down the bottom of the racetrack, super tight. He may have burned his stuff up again this run. You saw a lot of wheel into that machine. The 17 starting to make his way back to the front. 21 car of Randy Showers continuing to his march forward as Peyton now moves forward. Chase continuing to lead this thing. You heard the driver say it is hard to pass out here right now. It might just be the temperatures on the racetrack. It might just be the aggressiveness. Hell, it could even just be the setup. I know there's a lot of drivability in these cars. You see guys all over each other here on the racetrack. 35 doing his best to break the draft of the 16. The 16 car has it wound up on the high side, really doing a nice job, looks of saving his right front tire, which could lead to a potential pass here for the stage as they come to only 4 laps to go in stage number 1. The 35 really hanging the right rear out there, coming back up the racetrack. You saw the car bottom out, a little bit of tire smoke from him. This is going to lead to a big run for the 16. Now what does he do going into turns 3 and 4 as he is the 35 shaking it at him, saying don't even think about it, trying to make him second guess where he's going on the racetrack, make him search for that clean air. It looks like it did get the 16 a little tight out there. As now Randy Showers has jumped to the inside here. Now they're side by side once again for P2, the 17 right there as well still. Another guy's name we haven't called on too much tonight, Devin Myers here in the 1 car. He's up 3 spots from where he started this race. And look at that, the 9 car after the huge slide he had. The 35 is all over the racetrack doing whatever he can to break that draft. Very hard to get away from the draft there. A lot of wheel input there in the 9. You see that wheel hard over. It could also just be the damage he has to the left front of that thing. The 35 is continuing to lead this thing as they go around with 2 laps to go on the stage. Everything he needs to see right now is this right here. The second and third place guys side by side. Now the 17 gets clear. 35 on the apron, man. He is being aggressive, doing everything he can to break the side draft. 17's going to scrape the wall. He's going to get a little bit too high, trying to get out of the draft. That's going to leave Randy Showers to potentially get a run. No, Randy is just riding here as we have 1 lap to go in the stage. Can the 35 double it up for stages 1 and 2? Right now, he's got a fairly comfortable lead out there as he comes out of turn 2. The 75 trying to get, the 17 trying to get it wound up here. 35 super aggressive, really worried about that draft here. He's got that car also hung out getting into turns 3 and 4, maybe helping him turn it down to the bottom of the racetrack, but it looks like the 35 is going to double down on his stages here tonight as he is going to take stage number 2 from Chicagoland. The yellow flag is back out. Don't believe we have too many guys 1 lap down at this point, so they are going to come around and 35's got that thing wound up. He's shaking it. He's pretty excited. Maybe doing a little dirt tracking in there. Well, we'll see here at the end of the race. The final stint is going to be a little bit longer than the first one here. Oh, the 35. What in the world is he doing? I guess he's just going to celebrate his stage 2 win there by sliding it through the dirt. You never know what you're going to find. It's not one of our regulars out there. He does a little slide through the grass. Maybe a little preemptive celebration. Maybe he knows what's in store at the end of this thing as the leaders catch up to the pace car. Well, if the 35 doesn't hurry up and catch up, he's going to miss out. He's actually pulling off on the racetrack. Maybe the 35 said, yep, 35 is leaving the racetrack. Well, well, that's going to hand the lead over to Peyton Snyder here. We have a guest up in the broadcast booth with us here this evening. Mr. Stam is up here. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, man, you got it. Holy smokes, what skill we have here at S&M, and the dirty air is crazy.
Yes, these Gen 6 cars definitely like to throw dirty air out here and tighten those things up. Well, right now it looks like you're hanging in the top 10. How's it going for you during the race?
It's going good, man, and honestly, this is better racing than I've even seen in some some top split fixed back in my Gen 6 days. So, man, once again, hand it to these drivers. Hopefully, I'm not speaking too soon, and yeah, hopefully, I'm able to keep up here in the top 10.
Well, the
You're
car
doing
looks
a great
awesome.
job in the broadcast too, man.
Thank you, buddy. The car looks awesome. Did you paint that thing yourself?
I did, matter of fact.
That looks
thank you
great,
very
man.
much.
Well, we have a little smaller field than normal. We kind of switched it up on the normal drivers here tonight, and I put up this setup last night. It seems like there's a lot of drivability in it, but maybe I need to pick the car up off the racetrack. Maybe make that aero block a little less. What do you think?
Well, I guess from a driving standpoint, sure, yeah, you're right. But man, as we continue to tick down into the night hours, I think that's just going to add another element for you guys up in the booth, or you up in the booth, and everybody watching there on the stream.
Yeah, man, it is. It is. I see the sun starting to set now. Do we have that massive glare going into turns 3 and 4 just yet?
Not just yet, but man, it's on its way.
Well, that always makes it fun when you're 3 wide diving down into turn 3 going, where'd the racetrack go? Well, good luck as this thing continues to move forward. Thanks for jumping up here in the booth. Now that I know that you are in the chat here, I'm going to have to check in with you a couple more times as the race goes on. Maybe you should give me some pro tips here.
All righty, Craig. Well, we'll chat later, man.
All right, I'll catch up with you later. Sean Stan there in the 26 machine, one of the broadcasters. When I like to jump in the car, we might have to get him in there because, man, the racing does look rather entertaining as they go around the racetrack. Well, Matthew Brown has gotten himself in his 24 machine to the front of this field. The pace lights are off. Justin Lee Pearson right there. We're going to have to interview the 17 or 75 at some point and see what happened there on the racetrack. Definitely looks like some disagreement going on there. The 24 car, I am not sure if he painted that thing. I know he was in the chat looking for somebody to paint up some of his cars. He may have got D&D to get that thing all squared away for him, but that thing looks awesome, even though he took my number. You know, everyone knows the 24 is, you know, my car when I got on the track, but the thing still looks awesome as they approach the Geico restart zone. Matthew Brown is going to take us back to green here to start stage number 3. We are getting to the end of this thing. The shadows are continuing to increase on the racetrack. You heard Sean say the sun is almost in their eyes in turns 3 and 4. Justin Lee Pearson putting some serious pressure on Matt Brown as he looks to the inside. He's going to try to use his fresh tires to get him to the point. Here, maybe he could do a little bit of that aero blocking that Sean was just talking about there. These cars definitely, with the big rear spoilers, love the aero block, but it definitely makes these guys be a little bit more aggressive with their moves on the racetrack to try to get to the point. It does not look like the 58 has quite cleared the 24 just yet, but right there you see the Snyder brothers and the 16 continuing to hang around. Brady Showers has been up there the whole time. The guy we just talked to is up 17 spots. He's looking on the inside right now. Kevin Dixon starting to make his way forward. We haven't called his name too much tonight. He is a lone soldier up there in the admin control this evening. James Smith, Trevor Haley, Nick Bauman, and a bunch of guys weren't able to make this one here this evening, so he's doing everything he can behind the wheel. And from the admin box, Blaine Snyder going to make a big move to the inside here. Now the 9 car is going to go to the point. Does not look like he opted to repair that damage just yet on the front of that machine. You still see a little damage, trying to save some fast repairs. Maybe he's burned through a little bit, or a couple of them. Matthew Brown now driving it off in there. Now you see the aggressiveness starting to go up on the racetrack. Well, we have a moment here. We jinxed it last time. Hopefully not this time. We will go back and try to crank it up. Some awesome shots from Chicagoland here. The 9 continues to lead them around the racetrack. And his Mountain Dew Chevrolet got him wound up there on the outside. We saw him get into a little bit of a tiff earlier. We'll see maybe if he has some payback in store. The 75 starting to move his way back forward here. He's just outside the top 10. Evan Perry in 14th, just biding his time as well. Ryan Wilson back here. Let's see if there's, we did not, maybe he got a fire call this evening. We're going to try to track Brian Hayes up in here with us. I was a little busy earlier, but he is definitely going to get up here in the booth with us one of these nights and give us a hand. And James Shepson should be back around Friday evening, as these guys so far have kept it green. Excuse me, the first 2 stages of the race, they kind of got themselves in a good spot when they caught the yellow flag, splitting the stage. This time, if they can keep it green, now you will really see the tire strategy start to play out here. If they stay green, is who's abusing their stuff up, who is saving a little, maybe who's sandbagging, who's maybe in a little further in the pack, saving a little fuel right now to maybe make the green flag pit stop a little shorter on the racetrack. Now you see a lot of these guys starting to move to the high side. You see the shadowing take place. It's a little cooler up there on the racetrack. Thank you, Chase. Chase, that's who I had to leave. Awesome. Well, thank you. If you get a chance to come back, I know you had to leave. Thank you for coming out. You were killing it up there in the lead. He had to go. I was wondering what happened, so that's why we saw a little bit of a victory burnout for him. Thank you for coming in here and racing. We do it every night. The lobby opens at 9. The race starts somewhere at 10. We had a little delay tonight to see if we could help the admin team get in there and give Kevin Dixon a hand, but it looks like, we might have some shuffling. Yep, there goes the 27 is around, so these guys might get lucky yet again. Oh, the 009 is in it. They will get a yellow flag to split this this stage for them. A couple guys, looks like Ricky Miles is caught up, so we should get the yellow flag is out. Let's see if we can get a look to see what happened here. Looks like it could have started somewhere around, excuse me, I'm hitting wrong buttons out here. Somewhere around the 37 machine here. We are almost 4 wide. The 37's going to shove his nose in there. Don't know if that was the smartest move. Don't want to throw shade, but sometimes when there are already 3, there's not many places left to go. Kevin Dixon getting hit just from the 71, getting run over there, and that is going to turn the 37 and the 009. We saw him starting to make his way forward, and then guys just trying to miss the wreck here. Got to get involved in this one as well. Let's see if we can get a wider view. The 27 spinning down through the grass there. The 23 is going to be trying to turn underneath it. The 5 also misses this one. We'll make sure they don't get caught up in something else here as they continued to move forward. 37, just don't think that was the best move for you to try to shove it 4 wide mid-corner. Doesn't seem to work out very well, and well, as you saw there, it didn't. The leaders are going back down pit road. You see some of these guys possibly having to tow there. You see the 37 cars wobbling, 34 cars ahead, wobbling back and forth as that thing's sitting there. Man, that thing is jacked up in the rear of that car. Trying to get his fast repairs done as the leaders are on pit road. Come on, cameraman, work with us here. You see some of the lap traffic. They're going to go and get their services complete. They're going to roll off and get their laps back as the 9 car and the 24, Matthew Brown, and the 58 and the 72 are all going to have a close race off pit road. It looks like Evan Perry may have just won the race off pit road. 76 has gone around too many times. He's going to have to stop on the racetrack at some point and get it done. As I want to give one shout out real quick. I know they're not in here this evening, but I want to give it's going to take a lot in me not to yell and scream and cuss right here, but Nick Bauman in our 4 wide racing league. That league has pro drivers. That league is definitely hands down the hardest league I have ever had to race in on iRacing so far. Nick Bauman gets the All-Star Race 1 from Las Vegas in that league. That is so awesome. Later on if the lights don't go out on the pace car here, we might just have to pull up another guy's broadcast to take a look at that. That is absolutely awesome. Congratulations to the Dark Horse driver. We usually call him Mr. Talladega here. He usually drives the 8 machine. That is absolutely fantastic news. Trevor Haley texted us, man. I know those guys are pumped. Hopefully they'll actually jump in this chat here and we could get a chat with him and get his thoughts on that one. I mean, I believe the strength of field for that league is usually somewhere around 4 to 5K. I mean, it is a very, very difficult field to get wins at. I believe that is actually our team's first ever win in that series. Trevor Haley won the open event to win his way into the main event tonight. Got to take a check and see where he finished in that one. But again, just want to give a huge shout out to Nick Bowman. It is so hard to even find success in that league, let alone win. Congratulations, buddy. Hopefully you'll pop in here in the near future. Well, this evening, hopefully here. Evan Perry, I'm getting distracted. Your broadcaster's a little distracted right now. Sorry about that, as Evan Perry is going to lead us back to the green flag. Curious to see what strategy he had here. We now race till lap 90, so 13 to go from this stage. A huge block there by Matt Brown, but the 9's still going to get to the outside here. The field is starting to shrink. Maybe some guys are running out of faster pairs, but the racing is going to be just as intense here. You see the top 10 or so nose to tail here. Kevin Dixon riding P12. He got caught up in that one. He's going to try to continue to move his way forward. Ricky Miles up 6 spots. He has now cracked the top 15, so getting some laps under his belt around Chicagoland. He continues to move forward. Matt Brown has gone around Evan Perry. Blaine is pushing the daylights out of the 72. Going to give him a huge run to the bottom of the racetrack. Can the 72 get it to grip on the bottom of the racetrack and keep that thing wound up with the momentum the 9 just gave him? Justin Lee Pearson, his teammate behind him. You see the 17 pushing the 58, the 26 right there, the 21, the 75. Man, they are all over each other right here. Let's get a look on board with Dave Scott here. You see the 3 wide 9 car trying to split the difference. He's going to lead this lap around, some checking up, some beating, banging. The 9's going to go around. Oh boy, the 17 not sure. We'll have to go back and take, the 72 not sure what happened on that one. Did Evan also get caught up in that? It looked like he made it through. Did the 9 car come and collect him on the way back around? Let's see if we can get a look, because we are not going to get another shot at it here. Going down the front straightaway, just 4 wide. I don't know if the 9 knew that the 72 was still there. If he went to the bottom of the racetrack, yeah, you're going to see the front of the 9 just in his rotation come back up and grab the 72 car there. 72 quick to the brakes there. Almost has it saved. Does he save it? Let's let it play out. Oh, yes. What a great save. Let's go back and watch that at full speed. There, I believe the 9's going to think that he's going to go all the way to the apron here on the front straightaway. There was some contact from the 17 trying to push him, just gets him a little square here. 72 locks it down, man. That thing, what a great save there, Evan Perry, on that one. But let's go back live for this stage here. Matthew Brown continues to lead. Peyton Snyder going to take a look. Randy Showers continuing to hang around right there. Dave Scott, and oh boy, this is the drama we had earlier in the race. Could we have a little more here? We'll have to keep it locked. You see the shadows continuing to advance down the racetrack here as we are just under, we should be just under, are coming to about 50 laps to go in this one. Let's get a ride on board with Dave Scott. Let's see where the sun is heading into turns 3 and 4. I know when it gets low enough in the sky, it can be absolutely blinding on the racetrack. Right now, still not getting there. Oh, there she is, right there. So it is going to be just a few laps from now, and these guys are going to be just about blind going into turns 3 and 4. As the race for the lead continues to heat up, she's Sean Stam there, still up 18 spots, the biggest mover on the racetrack right now, continuing to wheel that car around. Ryan Wilson, we saw him hanging out in the back earlier trying to keep his car clean. Now he has got himself up in the top 10, looking to crack the top 5 right here. Ryan Wilson having himself a great run. Good to see him up there. Kevin Dixon continuing to recover right now. At the running moment, he is actually the top mover on the racetrack, so he's continuing to march his way forward as he has cracked the top 10. Tommy Rogers as well is going to be up 6 spots. He is going to round out your top 10. Matthew Brown continues to lead this thing. Randy Showers, Dave Scott, Justin Lee Pearson, Blaine Snyder, and Ryan Wilson going to be your top 6. You see the 24 trying to search, trying to break the draft. 21 going to give him a shot in the wall. Says you're going to block. I'm going to send you there. 75 just momentum. Going to carry him to 3 wide off the quarter. Justin Lee Pearson at the bottom of the racetrack. Here at Chicagoland, he'll lead that lap around, boys. He needs some room. 58 is going to clear him going into turns. Oh, some more contact there. The 75 is going to get a little tight. Justin Lee Pearson to the point as the battle continues. Sean Stam now going to get a big run down the back straightaway here on these guys, man. The top 5, we have seen them get physical all race long, but it has led to some great racing. These drivers might be a little frustrated at some of the contact, but going back and looking at it, man, they're going to be like, wow, that was close. We were beating and banging. We were door to door. We were sideways. We were side drafted. 24 is leading. The 17 is looking. The 21 gives them a shot. And after all that, Justin Lee Pearson to the point. I mean, just some fantastic racing on the racetrack. 17 and the 26 is going to get a little tight. They're off at turn 2. They are a little bit longer here on these tires now. So now with the aggressive racing that we have seen, who still has that right front left? It was one of our keys earlier in the race. It was actually our number 1 key to the race. Save your tires. The last stint of this race is cautions as necessary. However, if these guys spread out and they don't get the yellow flags, they could see 35, 40 laps on a set of tires. You will have to pit for green flag pit stops. Do you take 2? Do you take 4? I mean, it is going to really come down to some interesting strategy calls by some of these drivers. Justin Lee Pearson out front here with about, yes, this will be 2 laps to go on the stage. You see Matt Brown taking a look. The 58 going to slam that door shut, trying to give him some dirty air going into 1 and 2. He succeeds. You see the 24 having to lift early, trying to get a big run down the back straightaway here, which isn't really a straightaway. As you can see here at the old Chicagoland Speedway, it is curved down the back straightaway. I don't know if there's an interesting story like they have at Darlington with a farm being closed, is why that's egg-shaped. I don't know the backstory of Chicagoland. All I know is it's not a straight back straightaway. The 24 car going to make a big look here to the bottom of the racetrack. He's got some momentum, but can he clear him and slide up in front of him, slamming the doors shut? Can Justin keep it wound up? We are on the final lap of the stage. Matt Brown looks like he might have him cleared. He's going to come up. Now what does the 58 do? The 58's going to take a look to the inside. 17 is going to push the 58. Does the 17 try to make it interesting here? He's going to try to split the middle, but he's going to get tight, wash up into the 24, and Justin Lee Pearson, barring any issues from him, looks like he is going to be the Stage 3 winner this evening from Chicagoland. So great run so far for the 58. There is the yellow flag. We don't have the green-white checker for stages. iRacing hasn't put that in as an option for us just yet. So Justin Lee Pearson up 13 starting positions from where he started, and this thing got to go down there and catch the pace car coming out of turns 1 and 2. While we have a moment here before he has to go and make his strategy call, Justin, great run there at the end, grabbing Stage 3. Man, there's been some beating and banging, some slide jobs, some aero blocking. From up here, it looks pretty fun behind the wheel.
Hell, you guys need to race these tracks more often. I love them.
Yeah, I'm actually a little disappointed. I'm up here in the booth tonight. I built this setup a couple days ago. It looks like it's put on a whale of a show. Man, it has been entertaining. I mean, you top 5 have been all over the place, all over each other. We'll check in back with you after your pit stop here. Don't want to throw off your strategy, but congratulations on the Stage 3 win.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Ricky Miles going and grabbing his lap back here. Justin Lee Pearson, your Stage 3 winner there. Man, a lot of entertainment in that stage alone. We had a couple guys going off the nose of another guy, a couple door checks, slide jobs. I mean, just an absolutely awesome show from these guys so far here as they're going to make their way down pit road. Somebody hit the commitment cone. It's now laying in the grass down there. So Justin Lee Pearson, Matt Brown, Peyton Snyder, Dave Scott, Randy Showers, David Meyer, Sean Stam, Tommy Rogers, Peyton and Evan, Blaine. Now they're all scrambled up. We try to get the, the rundown there. We'll get it as they come out of pit road there. You see the 24 machine looking like maybe he had to back up an inch or two. Not sure. The right side's just going up on that machine, so that is going to hurt him a little bit. Do we have some 2 tires here from Justin Lee Pearson? You see the lefts up on those guys. Yeah, Justin's going to get a pretty big advantage. I'm going to say he took 2. So Justin Lee Pearson, Dave Scott, Peyton Snyder, Matt Brown, Sean Stam, Randy Showers, Kevin Dixon now up 21 spots, Ryan Wilson, Evan Perry, Blaine Snyder, Tommy Rogers, and Peyton Kleba coming out of the pits there. And Devin Myers in that awesome looking 1 car. Going to round out the top 13. Ricky Miles and Jerry Bassett look like they're getting their services done, so that will round out the top 15. Justin Lee Pearson, your stage winner, is going to win the race off of pit road there. Let's see if we can bring in the solo man up there in the admin control tonight. Well, Kevin, you were getting it done. You're up 22 spots. You got caught up in something earlier. You're a solo admin out here tonight. You got your hands full, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, you told me earlier you wrecked your car, so you were doing some car shopping. Are we still car shopping on one screen and racing on another?
No, we're just racing now.
Well, it looks like it's been pretty entertaining from behind the wheel. I don't know if you've seen the top 5, but you better get ready to get your elbows out because you're right up there in it now, and they have been aggressive. Some beating and banging up there so far.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
All right, well, we will continue to keep an eye on you. Good luck, and thank you for doing all the admin controls this evening.
Yeah, thank you.
Kevin Dixon from Lake Stevens in that 009 machine. Justin Lee Pearson getting ready to get us back to green flag racing. If we get another caution, we might just have to bring in Sean again in that 26 machines. He's up 20 spots. Kevin's up 22 spots. So a lot of guys making their way forward. Justin Lee Pearson is up 13 spots. Peyton Snyder up 14. So they're saying it's hard to pass. I don't know if I believe them. There's a lot of guys up a ton of positions on the racetrack right now as Justin gets us back in the Geico restart zone. Justin is going to take off here on lap 94. We are in the final stage of this thing. We'll have cautions as necessary if they keep it green. Man, these strategy calls are going to get interesting with 41 laps to go to start this thing. If these guys don't get some yellows, there's at least potentially 2 green flag pit stops on fuel alone. Then if you want a short pit, do you go grab tires? Do you hang out and try to save a little bit of fuel, maybe make it on one? Only time will tell there. You see Blaine getting back up there. The Tommy Rogers up 8 spots right here. Mr. Highline Racing Network himself out of Gulfport, Mississippi. There in the 34 machine, he is up 8 spots, riding in the P8 position here. Going to bide his time in the sun, continuing the set. Peyton Snyder is getting to the outside of Justin Lee Pearson. He's going to go to the point. Maybe Justin is just saying, I am going to save my tires right now. The 17 car of Peyton Snyder to the point. Dave Scott on the outside, taking Randy Showers and the guy we were just talking about, Sean Stam, with him on the outside. Getting it down the back straightaway here. Let's go ahead and check in on some of the speeds that these guys are running. 173 mid-corner in the draft here, going down the front straightaway. Should be well over 190 for a lot of these guys. 187 at the start-finish line. So these guys are boogieing around this racetrack. 192, and I don't even think he really had a pull of a car in front of him there. So let's see down the back straightaway. Maybe with Randy Showers, he's up in the draft here. 185, 88, 80. Oh, the Justin Lee Pearson out of shape there. 190 getting into 1 and 2. Oh, a little bit in the wall there for the 21 car, trying to keep it wound up a little too high as Matthew Brown's going to turn up under him. And this is shaping out. I mean, as a broadcaster, this is what you love to see. The 2 guys that were beating doors earlier, one guy goes around. Now at the end of the race, now they are going to battle amongst themselves for the win, man. Behind the wheel, you get frustrated. As a broadcaster, man, you're like, this is exactly what we want. We want an awesome finish and a little bit of drama here. I mean, these guys race together each and every single night of the week, man. There's bound to be drama. There's bound to be contact. You hear it with the NASCAR Pro drivers. Oh, some small contact there. The outside wall is 75. They get heated at each other, and they only do it 36 times a year. These guys are doing it, I would say, for most of these guys, at least 4 or 5 times a week, man. It is just bound to happen. Peyton Snyder continues to lead this thing. Well, this isn't a drafting track, but you definitely heard the draft is playing a big deal into this thing as they go around the racetrack. A lot of aero blocking. But as the run continues on with the tire wear, whoever's taking care of it might just be the winner in this one. The air might have nothing to do with it. If you have wore your stuff out, well, then you're not going to be able to stay in the lane here going around this racetrack. Well, we got one more opportunity. We'll try to see if we can bring in some of the Dark Horse boys for grabbing the Force-wide All-Star winner. Like I said, I'm definitely going to sit here and cue that up by the end of this thing for him. Let's see if we could get some of them in here. But while we do, let's crank it up. Peyton Snyder continues to lead us around the racetrack, but you saw it there while we were in the Crank It Up camera. The 58 of Justin Lee Pearson has made his way back to P2, now looking to catch the 17 machine here. As we'll go back here, let's take a look. Oh, some contact there. Big save from Sean there. Not sure if he has anyone to his outside. Let's take a look. Yes, he's got the 9 car there as we are on board. He is bouncing between discords on me. Do you see it there? The sun is heavily in these guys' eyes coming in to turns 3 and 4. Now the field's starting to spread out just a little bit. Now this is where the tire strategy and the fuel strategy could really come into play on these guys. The sun is getting low here. The lights are probably just a few minutes from turning on. These guys, with staying green in this stage, they might not even make it to the nighttime here. We always try to finish them in the dark here, but sometimes the pace is just so fast that the sun never actually sets all the way on these cars. Peyton in the 17 continuing lead, but the lead is shrinking. Justin Lee Pearson now has it under 0.3 of a second here. He is definitely making some headway. So again, pit strategy, tire saving is going to play a huge factor into this. And just outside the top 10 here, the 5 of Ricky Miles, sitting in P11, Evan Perry, Devin Myers racing there with Evan Perry for the 10th position. These guys really starting to make their way forward too, as like we said earlier, Ricky Miles up 10 positions, just sitting outside of the top 10. Great run for him up there in the 5 machine. A guy who did not turn many laps here, working on getting it done. Let's see if we can get on board here with the 58 of Justin Lee Pearson. These guys right up against the wall, trying to save as much tire as they can, try to find a cooler spot on the racetrack. Here, a little contact there for Justin, breathing the throttle. The car's getting a little upset over the bumps on the high line. This is shaping up to come down to one whale of a finish here. So far, no action on the racetrack with cars going backwards. It looks like the 21 has made his way onto pit road, so maybe a strategy call from him, trying to get on fresh tires a little sooner for the 21 car to try to make up some time on the racetrack. Justin continues to close this gap up for the time being on the 17 machine there. The 17, you see the sparks under these cars bottoming out. They're getting everything they can get on the racetrack. as we are coming down to the end of this thing. Lap 108 of 135 here tonight from S&M. The 58, can he just get the clean air to the nose of that machine to finish getting the run on the 17? Does he short pit? Does he try to go down before the 17 just one lap sooner? The one lap on fresher tires should make a huge difference. You never know what time you can make up on the racetrack. Matt Brown not far behind Blaine Snyder, and rounding out your top 5 right now as they go around the racetrack, the 009 up 23 spots on the racetrack. Evan Perry just behind him, so it looks like we have had some green flag pit stops starting to take place here. We haven't seen any yet, so it looks like 17-ish is about as far as these guys have gone just yet. A couple times he has been interrupted by the yellow flag, so I know Fuel, you're about 20 laps, so these guys might be trying to stretch it. We have 26 laps to go in the race. Are they trying to save a little bit of fuel on this run, maybe 2 or 3 laps worth on this run, to maybe try to save 2 or 3 laps on the next run? You see the 75 and the 26 coming down pit road. Let's see if Sean executes here, gets in there, nice, locks up the front tires, getting in his box. We could even see some 2-tire stops on this. You heard Peyton say it earlier. It looks like it's going to be a 4-tire stop for the 26 machine. It sure is. Let's get back, look up here as the 58 continues to hound the 17 car. These guys got this thing wound up the top of the racetrack there. We saw all those marbles up there early in the racetrack. There's not many left at all because these guys have these things pressed up against the outside wall here. So going to be curious to see, are these guys trying to save fuel? When we were on board, it didn't sound like they were really saving much of anything, so they might know their bet is made. They might be able to just make it on one more stop here. Maybe a splash at the end of this thing. Only time is going to tell. Here we'll see. We can harass our dark horse drivers to get up here in the booth with us. 58 continuing to make that 17 look in the mirror. You know, trying to see if he can make 17 potentially maybe scrape the wall here on this run so he could get a bigger run. You saw him clip the grass there a little bit. You saw a little bit of the grass coming out of that left front tire going down the straightaway. Now this 58 looks like maybe he does have a little more grip. He's actually able to turn under the 17 there a little bit, trying to get some fresh air to the nose of that thing. The 29 car on pit road. Jerry Bassett continues on the racetrack here. We're going to try to keep it. You see right here for Matthew Brown, if these guys make a mistake, he is also in a position to come up here and try to steal this thing away from the two of them. We saw him up in the lead earlier. We also saw this 9 car a little further back. So as the field gets spread out, who wants the short pit? Who's decided they're going to make 2 stops? Who knows that they might get a yellow? As they go around the racetrack, Sean Stam has got that thing wound back up on his fresh tires. Let's see if we could get a look here at the best times on the racetrack as we continue with the leaders here. It's 17 is in, so the 17 decides he needs to get it on pit road before the 58 to keep it up there. Gets on pit road very well there. Shouldn't be speeding there. Peyton Snyder in. Blaine Snyder, his brother, also on the same strategy as these guys are going to try to wind this thing out. Let's see if the 58 can make it back around. These guys are really trying to stretch their fuel limits here to see if they can indeed make it on one stop. You see a lot of 23 lap. I know that is about as close as you could get it here. We should see the 58. He's hugging the bottom of it this time. He is making his way in. The 24 is also coming down. He's got to get that thing checked up. Looks like he does. He got in there pretty hard. So he might make up some ground of these guys. Evan Perry going to try to stretch it one more lap, but how much time are you willing to give up on the racetrack? Looks like he is really nursing that thing around this racetrack. He is well under speed. Yeah, down on the 158, 57 mile per hour here. You see Peyton just coming out in front of him. He might try to stretch this thing 1 or 2 more laps here. Let's see if the 72 of Evan Perry comes in this time. He might be trying to say, I saved on this stint, now I am going to go all out in the second stint as he's getting off pit road a little hot. Yeah, no grip in that right front. He's going to miss the commitment cone. That is going to be a black flag for the 72. Evan Perry trying the strategy, just getting it a little too hard onto pit road. Well, out of all of that, we talked about it earlier, potentially some strategy call. Peyton, you see him now. He is going to have a little bit of a lead off of the nose of the 58 car because he went in a lap earlier. See how much of a difference that makes on the racetrack here. One lap, fresher tires while these guys stuck on older ones there. Justin is going to try to make up ground going to the bottom. Peyton going to try to save his stuff at the top of the racetrack. I have a feeling these guys might just be nose to tail by the end of this thing. We saw Sean out here. He short pitted the whole field as well. Now he is up to third. Again, another guy out there on fresh tires making up some substantial ground. Now if a yellow flag was to come out, now what's the strategy? Do you make up ground? Blaine Snyder, Dave Scott is going to round out the top 5. The 009 just off the quarter panel of the 75 machine, hanging around trying to get his top 5 out there on the racetrack. Getting a little tight out there, but Peyton Snyder in the 17 continues to lead us around the racetrack as we now have 18 laps to go from Chicagoland. Peyton coming down the front straightaway. How much is he willing to save on that right front and just let the 58 maybe close up to the back of him? He has about a 1 second lead right now on the 58. Does the 17 say, I'm going to actually back off a little bit, save the right front, and try to, as he goes to the bottom of the racetrack here, and just try to let the 58 catch up to me. Let the 58 burn his stuff up while I save going around. Right now, it looks like there isn't much saving from the 17 because the gap has just about remained the same. Out there, Sean Stam out there in the 26 machine. He is about 4.5 seconds behind P2 right there. So these guys starting to stretch out here. Really going to depend on who pitted when, who's saving tires. It looks like the 009 has got around the 75 of Dave Scott. Possibly there. Randy Showers 1 lap down. Not sure if he also got caught on pit road. The 72 had a great call. I thought that might be the winning call there to ensure that he had enough fuel at the end. Just couldn't get it checked up on pit road. So 17 out front. Now he is looking out the front of this thing and finding some lap traffic. How does that play in effect for the 17 machine? There is some teammates up there. Ricky Miles got it down on the apron, sliding that thing. Great save from him. Does the 71 try to hold up the 17 and let the 58 get to the back bumper now? Going to be an interesting call. The 58 has, in fact, gained a ton of time on the 17 machine. Has it down to about half a second. Is the 17 checking up? Is the dirty air playing in effect for the 17 car, making him get tight? We'll go back here, and do you see it there? The 58 has made up the ground, but has the 58 burned up his stuff, trying to get back, just get back to the bumper of the 17 car here. He knows he pitted 1 lap sooner, so maybe he could be, 1 lap later, be a little bit more aggressive because the 17 has remained out there on those tires. Man, this is shaping up to be one hell of a duel between Peyton Snyder and Justin Lee Pearson as they are catching some lap traffic. You see Ricky Miles and Jerry Fassett right there in front of them. 17 got it right up against the wall, entering the corner here. Oh, the 58 now. He is there. They have 12 laps to go. Now, what is the move that he can make? The track temp should be down on the racetrack, most of it in the shade this evening. We did not get any yellows here in this third stage, so it looks like we are going to finish this thing at dusk. The 58 is now there. The 17 has lap traffic in front of him and some dirty air. What does the 58 try to go to make his move around the 17? Can the 17 continue to defend the 58 off? He does off turns 3 and 4 this time, but the 58 is all over the back of the 17. A block from the 17 to 58. Oh man, as they go into turn 1 and 2, you see the onboard shot here. The 58 is going to find some clean air with the hole in between, but can the 17 keep it wound up? He cannot. The 17 has lost the lead now. Now what can the 17 of Peyton Snyder do to get back to the back bumper of the 58. The 58 did make up 1 second on the racetrack. So how hard was he pushing it? Maybe it's Peyton trying to keep his right front cool. Knew he would get there eventually and see what kind of move he can make as he gets a run. Looking into turns 1 and 2, he's all over the back of the 58, man. These guys are really dueling it out right now. The 17 trying to get some fresh air. He's going to try to pit him in behind the 1771 machine there. They make some contact with the lap car on the outside. He was trying to pin the 58 up there behind the lap car. Almost was able to make it happen. And then they made a little contact as he's looking back to the inside. Ricky Miles still right there. Now the 17's got a little right front damage to the nose of that machine as we are on 9 laps to go. Blaine Snyder rides in P3, Kevin Dixon P4, Sean Stam rounding out the top 5. You know, you heard these guys earlier say, you know, it's hard to pass out here. But right now from the leader to the top 5, they're up plus 13, plus 15, plus 15, plus 24, plus 20. So I think these guys are teasing us a little bit. We do have a yellow flag out. It looks like the 24 of Matt Brown is out. So now you have green-white checkers. 2 tires are an option. However, you have been out on all 4 of these tires, beating the hell out of them for the last how many laps? Do you say, I still need 4 to get it done? Do you take track position while these leaders? Let's see if we can go back and look and see what happened to the 24 here. Some action on the racetrack. Oh, he's just going to turn across the nose of the 21. He must have thought he was clear. He was not. So 24 is going to go around. Let's not spend too much time on that. Let's get back to the lead because these leaders are going to come down pit road. This is going to be an interesting call. Could someone like Dave Scott or Evan Perry come up here? Well, Evan might be a lap down, but Dave Scott, does he take 2? Does he try the aero blocking strategy? Peyton's got to tighten it up here on the 58. Machine not going to quite close up to the back of him. So now, what do you take? Do you take 2? Do you take 4? What is the call on this one? You see them come down pit road here. We'll try to call it the best that we can see. Here, Peyton's going to use that fast repair. You see the 2 cars there right in the middle of the screen. The right side tire is going up on both of them. So now what is the move? Looks like the 758 is down. He's away. He's going to take 2. The 9 is also going to take 2. The 26 is going to take 2. Looks like the 17 is going to opt for 4. That's going to bury him a little further in the pack. The 75 also, we said, might take the 2 tire strategy. So now the 17 will go from P2 to P5. Justin Lee Pearson is going to be out there on 2 tires along with possibly the 9 and the 75 on 2 tires. So, man, how is this thing going to shape up? Well, let's bring in one of the broadcasters. He looks like one of the guys we just talked about. A 2-tire strategy there for you, Sean.
Man, this is Chicago, I thought. I feel like I'm at the beach, man. I'm sweating down here. I got the sand in my eyes, or the sun in my eyes. Shoot sand off the apron. This is shaping up to be a great, great finish. Quick question. How many green-white checkers do we get?
There is 3 in effect, so don't beat up that right front tire too early because you still might have 6 green flag extra laps of racing. I see the lights turning on here. You guys have been so clean the final stage. Usually we have a couple yellows, would be in the nighttime by now. But is the track temp going down? It has to be as we get ready to go back green.
Yeah, man, you can definitely feel a difference in the track and the grip that it has to offer. And I know I talked about it earlier, but I mean, the racecraft of these guys in racing, it's aggressive, but I mean, it's, like I said, it's some of the most clean racing I've seen. So, dude, I got Rexy up here in front of me. We got Justin up here in the lead, the 58. So, man, hopefully everybody's hit that like button, and man, we're about to see a great finish.
All right, well, good luck. Maybe we'll see that Wonder Bread looking car that you painted in Victory Lane, and we get to bother you again at the end of this thing.
Oh shoot, that's the goal, right?
Well, you were talking about the track is cooler. You're on 2 tires. Well, we'll see how it all plays out for you.
All righty, man. Thank you, Craig. Keep it up.
Thanks, buddy. Sean Stam there in the 26 machine. This is going to get good. There is a lot of guys on 2. There is some really fast cars like the 17 on 4. Where you heard it there from Sean himself that there is more grip on the racetrack because the lights are on, the sun is down. We have 5 laps to go. Justin Lee Pearson's going to take us green. We've already seen some aggressiveness from these guys out front. Will that continue as they go into turns 1 and 2 to 75? The 17 is going to make a big move under him. That's going to give the 26 to the top of Blaine Snyder's going to try to make a move on the outside. You see this, the 17 already making up a ton of time. These guys were a little loose. I wonder if the 2 tires had to do with that while they were still cooling down, but now the 58 making a big move to the bottom. You see the grip difference there in the 17. He's able to turn it down the racetrack. We saw some contact earlier from these cats already. The 17 with a big move to the bottom. He's not going to quite be able to clear him, but can he get it to stick and not wash up the racetrack? He sure is, but the 9 of his brother of Blaine is going to have a big run on the outside. Man, these guys are getting after it. The 27 car now also up there, Brandon Hinton. We haven't talked about him much this broadcast. He's up in the top 5. He is right there. I believe he is also on 4 fresh tires, trying to make his way up to the front. Don't know if the 2 is going to pay out for these guys, but we have 3 laps to go from Chicagoland. The 17 back out front. Justin Lee Pearson here coming out of turn 2 is going to turn down under Blaine. That is exactly, if you were the 17 car, what you want to see. You want to see these guys side by side and taking some draft away from each other, allowing you to pull away. We get a great onboard shot here from the 26. He's going to try to use the draft and make his move to the bottom of the racetrack. Sean Stem looking for P2. Can he get it to stick in turns 1 and 2? We have 2 laps to go from Chicagoland. Looks like he's going to get a little loose there at the bottom as the car bottoms out. You saw the sparks. The 27 now to the high side. Peyton Snyder continuing to maybe walk away from his brother here in the 9 as they were all side by side. As they come out of turn 4, we have no chaos in the back of the pack. We have 2 wide for second, but right now they take the white flag. No more yellow flags on the racetrack. Peyton Snyder continuing to go out here and lead this field around as we are 1 lap to go for the S&M Iracing Motorsports Series from Chicagoland. We have some mixing up. We have the 1 car in the 21 hard. The 72 is going to get involved. The 71 is going to get involved, but it's too late. The yellow flag cannot come out for these guys. So as they come out of turn 4, it looks like, the 58 is going to get around with, a couple of guys. So the 17 is it. Peyton Snyder's going to win. And, man, there's some chaos in the back of the field. Looks like Blaine Snyder, Sean Stam, Matt Brown is going to come all the way back, and Kevin Dixon, P5 there. What a wild finish. We'll go back. We'll rewind it. We'll try to cue it all up, see what happened here at the end of this thing. You saw the 26 in the grass, the 58 in the outside wall here coming out of the last corner. We missed a little bit of it there. Let's see if we can get a better rewind here, cameraman, and see just what happened here. Let's get on with the 58. The 9's going to try. Yeah, he is just so tight. He's trying to get everything he can. He tries to slide up in front of the 58. The 58 says, I'm not lifting if you're going to pull that slide job. And it's just going to put the 9 in the outside wall. And then, the 58 just going to bounce off him. You see Sean Stamp trying to turn down underneath it. Not sure how he's going to get caught up in all of this. Maybe just a slide through the grass for him. So, Tommy absolutely punts the 58 as they go around, but it was all Peyton Snyder here at the end of this one. So let's get a look at the final results before we get some driver interviews in this one. The results for this evening, you see him there coming across the line, doing a little drift. Peyton Snyder, Blaine Snyder, 2 dark horse guys, Sean Stam, Matt Brown, Kevin Dixon, Dave Scott, Ricky Miles with a P7, riding around trying to figure out this racetrack. What an awesome comeback for him. P7, Brandon Hinton in the 27. Peyton Kleba in the 29. Randy Showers is going to round out your top 10. And after a great race there for Justin Lee Pearson, unfortunately falls to the 10th position. Jerry Fassett, Tommy Rogers, Devin Myers, Evan Perry, Ryan Wilson, and the rest of this field. Well, for the most part, it was pretty darn entertaining around the racetrack. I know we didn't finish it under the lights like we had hoped or expected. You see some chaos in the back of this thing, but it looks like Peyton Snyder is going to get it done. Peyton, congratulations. You had some beating, some banging, some rough stuff, some slide jobs. I know you looked in the mirror and saw those guys side by side, and that's exactly what you wanted to see with just a few laps to go.
Man, I short pitted Justin there, and I was really hoping it would go green. I got behind those lap cars. He caught me. The dirty air was so bad, especially on a stretched out run like that, man. I could not do nothing with those lap cars, and he caught me and passed me like I wasn't even there.
Yeah,
And
he
I saw he took
closed
2
rather
tires.
quick.
I knew he took 2 tires, and I was like, oh, yeah, baby, we're taking 4, and we're going to ride this thing out. And sure enough, I knew it wouldn't take long, so got it done.
You got it done this evening, man. Congratulations. How fun was that thing to drive around the racetrack this evening?
Man, it's pretty fun, man. This 550 package here at this track, it's one of my favorite combinations, and you can run, the bottom, the top, whatever. And the ones that can make it work on the bottom will make it work. The ones that can't won't. And Justin was making it work on the bottom, and he caught me fair and square there. And heartbreak for that caution coming out there, but for me, I'm happy with it. So glad to get Dark Horse another win and add to the total.
There you go. Well, congratulations on the win tonight, buddy. One hell of a show there at the end of that thing. Good job.
Yeah, awesome race. Really good racing. I know it probably put on a show for you guys. So
It definitely did. Well, congratulations, buddy. We'll throw you back down in your chat. I believe our P2 finisher tonight. Well, he's actually our P3, Sean. Little chaos there coming out of 4, but you managed P3.
Woo! Man, I guess I'm a gambling man. Yeah, I had that little bit of a early pit there. And yeah, if that caution didn't come out, I was saving fuel, probably losing like 2 seconds a lap. But man, that caution saved my butt, able to come away with that P3. And what a last lap. How was it up there watching from the booth? That had to be so much fun.
Oh, man, it was a blast. Most of this race, there's a lot of action, a lot of beating and banging. The poor 58 getting caught up in that there at the end with the guys all sliding all over the place. I mean, but, man, there was some aggressiveness on the racetrack, what always makes for great entertainment for us, at least up here.
And that it does. Yeah, unfortunate run for Justin. But guess I'm going to I'll let you get back to it here. I'll just like to shout out Ollie for joining in. He's, I guess, my number 1 fan out there in the chat
Awesome.
and YouTube. And so I appreciate that. And shoot, I again appreciate you doing a great job multitasking, producing, and commentating at one time.
we try our best. I'm still a rookie at it, but we'll get there one day. Well, congratulations on the P3 finish for you tonight, buddy.
Hey, thank you so much, and keep up the great work, man. Seriously, broadcast looked great.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Well, our P2 finisher tonight in the 9 car is away from his mic right now. Some of the other cats had left already. I just want to give a shout out. I know it wasn't what he wanted there, but Justin Lee Pearson, absolutely kick-ass job on the racetrack tonight. And even Dave Scott, really got it going out there and really put on some awesome racing for everyone to kind of look at. Well, Kevin Dixon, again, another great finish for him. It's awesome to continue to see success for the 009 car. Well, while we are at it right now, I want to go ahead and we talked about this earlier. Pardon the unprofessional look of this thing. We're going to give a shout out here and take a look back. This, like I said, this series is so hard to win, but let's go back here and take a look at the final lap. Let's bring him in. The 4-wide All-Star winner here this evening from the 4-wide Racing Series. I'm going to let it play here on the last lap. What was the last lap like in your mind, and how nervous were you, Nick?
7 All-Star race.
White flag in the air from the
man.
virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and it's
The whole inside lane wrecked on the last restart, but caution didn't come out.
I
I was
saw
praying
that.
for it not to have. Curtis Kelly was fast all night. He ran me down. I about bottled it out of the last corner. He got to me and it got me loose. It ended up being a photo finish.
I see it here. Yeah, you are hanging on to that thing. Curtis Kelly turned it down underneath you, but you edge him out. How excited were you to grab this win and 4-wide tonight, buddy?
Very. So much to the point where I almost got yelled at because I got a little loud.
I was gonna say, do you have any voice even left? I know the celebration had to be huge.
A little bit. Careful might have celebrated harder than I did because he broke his mic.
Oh, no. Careful. What are you doing? Oh, well, I was pretty pumped up here in the booth for you, man. Awesome job there getting it done in that series. That series is so hard to win. Well, your counterpart tonight also then goes and grabs a win here in S&M. Well, you guys were away. The Katzler still going to play. So, but congratulations tonight for you, buddy, on that big win this evening.
Thank you. Very much.
Will we see the 8 car here tomorrow night?
Oh, yeah, you can count on it.
There you go. That's what we love to see. Well, congratulations, buddy. Great job in that series. Can't wait to see you tomorrow evening.
Thank you.
Well, Ricky Biles, you still here this evening?
Yes, sir, buddy.
Well, some chaos out of turn 4. You hung in there all evening long, and you come home with a P7 finish, Mother.
Yeah, there's a few times I was just buying myself some time and saving my tires. I think I might have tried to save my tires, a little too much and to try to advance a few more positions. But all in all, this track here is a little tough for me, but good time, good racing, man. And I appreciate everybody coming out, and I'm happy with where I'm at.
Well, you came home, like I said, we did a short test last evening, and it was one of your first laps around. So now you got 135 under your belt. Did you learn a couple things on the racetrack tonight that maybe if we come back here, you do again?
Yeah, I think that, I had at the very tail end of it, I had enough of fuel to get to the end, and because I went in pits later than everybody else, and so I had a little bit more fresher tires, but I gambled. At first, I was gambling about getting in there, and I was like, well, do I go in or do I don't? Or do I not? So I decided at the last minute to go in, and I probably should have stayed out and get track position, but you kind of win and you lose.
Amen to that. Well, congratulations on the P7 finish. I will get with you here in just a couple minutes, but good job on the finish tonight there, Ricky.
Good time. We appreciate you.
Ricky Miles in the 5 machine coming home with a great finish. Well, your winner this evening, Peyton Snyder there in the 17 machine. Let's get him queued up. Does he give us a little bit of a victory burnout down the front straightaway? Some awesome racing from Chicagoland. A little upset it didn't end fully in the evening tonight. Maybe we had to turn up the time accelerator on on the race event this evening. These guys put on a fantastic show for us this evening. You see the brothers there celebrating at Chicagoland. Almost a synchronized burnout there, boys. Good job on the racetrack for these cats. Peyton burning it down with his brother there in the 9 machine. The 17 Dark Horse driver gets it done tonight. Again, one more time, a quick shout out to D&D Graphics out there putting this thing on for all of us this evening. CSR Broadcasting really appreciates them. Again, if you could just like, comment, share, or just subscribe, it'll help us. We have a lot more racing coming up to broadcast. Some championship series from the SMT series should be coming up Friday. A Friday night main event for this. There is some money races coming up for this series. Stay tuned. That is definitely going to bring out some aggressiveness in these drivers when there is some money on the line. Well, you see it there, the 17 and the 9 getting it done this evening. The 17, the winner, the 9P2, the Snyder brothers getting it done. The 17 burning her down. Well, thank you everyone on YouTube for joining us this evening and watching this version of S&M Iracing Motorsports. Want to give one shout out to the main man himself. He was out to dinner this evening. James Smith, Mr. CEO, getting this thing all set up and done and up and ready for us this evening. Well, the 17 gets it done this evening from the S&M Iracing Motorsports Series. This is Craig from CSR Broadcasting signing out, saying I will see you next time, potentially tomorrow night, from the broadcast booth.